gentlemen, welcome to Ariel Helwani's MMA Show.
Post-show time here on this Monday afternoon in New York City. It is November 5th. We have had an eventful day on the program. 3 in-studio guests, the double champ via Skype. A lot of Skype guests. Skype's back, baby. I don't know if you heard, but Skype is back. Back with a vengeance. We've got Skype. People can see us. It's a good time to be alive here on the Ariel Helwani MMA Show. Actually, it's Ariel Helwani's MMA Show. This is Ariel Helwani's post MMA show. No, it's Ariel Helwani's MMA post show. Totally butchering that because you all know it as the Crust First program, the program that is sweeping the nation. But truth be told, I have a massive headache. There's a lot of yelling on the program today, a lot of testosterone, a lot of emotion. I'm very tired. I'm drained, and it's very good to have my partner in crime back. Yes, I made some jokes that he wasn't welcome back. Yes, I made some jokes that his attire when he joined us via Skype was lackluster, to say the least. But truth be told, it's good to have him back. He is back from his 6-month vacation. The one and only New York Ric in the house.
Hello, Ariel.
Rocking the Hawaiian shirt. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah. This is permanent. This is the new look.
This is the new thing. You're the new Jeff Wagenheim.
Credit to Jeff Wagenheim
Yes.
For putting me onto the wave. This is it.
Well, you're looking good.
Thank you.
Did you lose weight over there?
No, probably maintained. I ate a lot of fish, a lot of poke.
What do they have? The Pam? No, Spam?
Spam.
Spam.
Do you like Spam?
Never had it. It's
I wouldn't think that you'd
it's
be
pig,
a Spam.
right?
It's parts of different
Ugh.
animals, including pig.
Don't they eat it with like rice or something?
Oh,
like
yeah.
that? It's called something.
Masubi? Is that what you're thinking of?
I don't know.
Locomoco they have.
Locomoco. That's with eggs, right?
That's with eggs and beef with gravy.
Overall, a good trip?
Yeah, great trip.
Wow.
My sister-in-law got married.
Why'd you hesitate?
I was busy. I was working because I was working East Coast hours, so I was getting up at 4 a.m. and then doing my work, and then I get to enjoy the rest of the day into the evening in Hawaii because they're 6 hours behind East Coast.
Right.
So I'm a little bit exhausted. Having an 11-month-old on that trip and then in the flight there and back was tough. But no, my family grew, so I'm very happy.
Is it weird being all the way over there? And then meanwhile, back here on the program, there's like a who's who stopping by. You know, Daniel Cormier is in studio. Adesanya's in studio. Who else did we have? Michaela Mayer. We had...
You mean, was it weird for them not to see me and have my presence there?
Like where you're like, damn, I'm missing out. I picked the wrong time to leave. Like, well, what are the emotions? Because we know you don't tune in. Like when you're you don't
not
tune
even.
in.
No.
Sandu's on the post show, just killing it,
Yeah,
slaying it. Are you just like, damn? Is there gonna be a seat for me when I return? Am I the new Wally Pip?
We talked about it in the back.
Yeah.
And, you know...
Because Sandu's here. He's ready.
Sandu's here.
He came back for seconds, and you're like, whoa, dog. Chill out.
No, I love Sandu very much.
I built this house.
He knows that. We actually met up multiple times this week.
Wow. You meet up with a lot of people when there's a fight.
I like to mingle.
Yeah, but I never
This
get
is my
invited.
hometown.
I see.
Wait a
you
minute.
with Bond.
Wait a minute.
You
Wait
and
a
Bond
minute.
are doing things. You're out there with the competition. I see you doing all
Not
kinds
true.
of things.
Not true. You've been invited to many a thing, and you have laughed in my face at the invitation.
It's always like half-ass invites, if I'm being honest. It's always like dinosaur hands. Like, hey, I know you don't want to come to this, but I know it's Halloween and you probably want to go trick-or-treating with your kids, but I'm doing this dinner. Like, come on. We could do better than that.
You know what? I will
I
send
don't
the
think-
formal invitation in the
I
mail,
got
and we'll
invited
see.
to the Glory event on Friday. A lot of people were there. I don't think I actually got a real like, hey, you want to come sit ringside?
You cannot do this
get
way.
a little VIP
You
treatment.
can't pretend.
I know you like to, you like to cover the fights. You go to fights all the time. But you know what would be nice? Why don't you bring the wife out? You guys could come watch. Let your hair down a little bit. Be a fan for a night.
This is the worst revisionist history I've ever heard of in my entire life. This is fake news.
Well, it's good to have you back.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
Yeah, is it?
I mean, I have to admit, I felt a little bit separated from the MMA world being over there. It's very far away.
Did you see any?
Like I was watching Moncton in the middle of the day.
It's tremendous.
It was
What a
good
dream.
for that reason. But then, you know, your adrenaline goes up, and then you
Right.
peak, and it's 6 p.m. and your day, you know, your evening's just starting.
I would do anything to have fights on at 5 p.m. like
It's
that.
nice, but it's also like I'm used to it at a different time. I'm used to being like, okay, that's it. Now I'm ready. Now, you know,
Yeah.
my day's done,
Yeah.
and now I still have things to do. But it was great. I was very happy to be there.
Fun day today to come back to, right?
It was good. And
Ali in the house.
And, you know, we've been doing some work on the back end to get the Skype up
Skype,
and running.
yep,
and
yep.
now that it felt like a very smooth show. We had 3 in-studio guests. Izzy making only the second pre- and then post-fight appearance. The first being
studio.
John Kavanaugh.
Yep.
It was a good show, and it was exciting times, and I'm happy
What'd
to
you
be
make
here.
of Ali?
I thought that was one of the better interviews you guys have had together. There's been
guess.
quite a few.
I don't even know if it was an interview, to be honest. It was a
Sure,
lot of
it was
yelling.
more of a conversation between
Right.
two
I don't know if
people.
we actually like got anything done in that. Maybe we did.
I think you may have gotten more done on the Ariel Ali front, and
No joke. I didn't
touched
talk
very
to him
little on
for 2-3 weeks, and
Yeah.
I was done. Like I've told people here. I told Jake, I was like, I'm not going to talk to this guy anymore because I'm tired of him talking to me this way. Like people think that we're buddies. We're not.
right
You know
from
what
the
I mean?
outside, people have a
Look,
different
you
understanding.
have to do business, if you want to call it that, with people in the sport. I would do it with anyone. It's not personal for me, but once it starts to get personal and you're sending text messages and things like that, like I don't care. Like if you want to say to me you're never going to talk to this guy or that guy, cool, man. It's not like I see people all the time. Why does Ariel do this? Why does because he has to get people on the show? Do you think I really care? Really?
Right.
It's like I have a life. You know, I have kids. I have a family. Like this is not that important. You know what I mean? To get involved in these, it's way more personal to them than it should be for us.
Sure.
For us, and I get that. That's a part. Like they're the subject.
Yep.
We're the ones on the outside looking in. But once you try to bring me in, once you try to threaten, I'm good. So, but hey, if you want to come squash the beef on the air, I'll do that all day.
And I think that happened.
Anyone who has a problem with me, you've known me for a long time.
Yeah.
Remember when Ben Askren, like Ben hated me.
Well, what will often happen, at least in the history of this, as long as I've been around, hate then becomes favorite place to come. It becomes love. It always flips
Kevin
the other
Lee.
way.
Remember Kevin Lee?
It's been more than that. It happens all the time, where people get the sense that there's beef, and then talk about it, and then they become,
Can't
I'd
hold
love to come
grudges.
on. Yeah, well, I think it's always a misunderstanding. In my opinion, it always comes from, a lot of times comes from not understanding what the role of a journalist is, not understanding what the role of a media outlet is, and it is often solved once a conversation happens.
What's your take on Ali? Honest take. Like, does he? I think he needs to chill out. That's what I told him. You need to chill out, man. You're going crazy here. You're making this too personal. It's too volatile.
You mean specifically in terms of Conor McGregor and the
all that.
thing with that
I
camp?
don't mind that he actually goes out and promotes his guys.
He promotes his guys, and
I don't mind that.
he said explicitly,
Yeah,
I'm not a manager, I'm a promoter.
I respect
think
that.
that is
and that's actually
what he
more
needs to be doing.
apropos to who he is. But it's too personal with Conor. I just don't want.
But Conor made it personal.
Yeah.
Conor made it personal.
But let's be honest. He was calling him a prostitute long before. He was taking shots at him long before as well.
Yeah, I don't think there's any secret that he has a part in it. It's definitely a two-way street. It's hard. He made it personal. I mean, he's talking lawsuits and things like this.
Yeah.
There's a lot on the line here. But as far as what he is doing in his role, I think he's probably
doing
doing
his
the right
job.
thing. He's doing his job well. Khabib is continuing to be talked about, even though he's kind of off to the
Sure.
side. He's the one pushing that forward, and
Right.
and I think Sajara came in. She's talking about what she's working with him behind the scenes. I think he's doing what he needs to do for his fighters.
He's incredibly polarizing. Everyone has
Certainly.
an opinion. And I know there's like this pocket of fans who are like, ask him this, ask him that, ask him that. I mean, I feel like at this point, I've tried to speak to him about this stuff
Yeah.
a million different times.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to talk about it,
Certain things,
for
yes.
whatever
Certain
reason.
things,
Yeah,
no.
for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And look, Conor did the whole how's Noah thing, right? He brought up his kid. And I would never, like Sajara brought her daughter here. Like, that's
Yeah.
not our business.
No.
I don't care. Just because Conor brings something up, it doesn't mean we have to bring it up. It doesn't mean we have to explore it. Like, whatever he does, I can assure you that there's a lot of bad parents in this sport and in sports in general. I feel like there's a line, and we cover them as athletes. Now, if something kind of crosses into, this world, sure, but like it's not our job to be digging through their personal lives and their personal relationships and talk about all this. At least not mine.
Exactly. There's different roles, there's different things. That's not your role. You are choosing the stories, you are choosing the angles, you are choosing what you want to talk about and ask about. Not, whatever somebody's talking about. If there was a question to ask about Noah, I wouldn't doubt that you would ask it. But
I asked him if he wants to clear the air. He doesn't want to clear the air. Let's move on. You know what I mean? Because at this point, that at the end of the day is his personal life. Yeah. And that has nothing to do with MMA.
Or, what you're interested in discussing at the moment.
Right. Last week, Daniel Cormier came on. I was talking to him about being, Dan Jr. and being a wrestler, his son, right? Yeah. That to me has something to do with who he is as a fighter, but also a father. In this regard, it doesn't, in my opinion. It has nothing to do with anything. And so to me, that gets to a little bit of an uncomfortable spot.
I'm sure we're going to get a lot of tweets here.
No, I don't care. I
know. It's
just the way it is. I mean, people. It's the era that we live in with the vocal minority and people getting so. And I just want if Khabib fights Conor again, if Conor wants to do this and Khabib's down and the Floyd thing goes away, that's great. It was a spectacle. It was fun. You know? I just want it to feel less volatile. There's like an ugliness to all this. You know what I mean?
But that's also what makes it so exciting. I mean, I talked about it heading into the fight. The reason this fight sold 2+ million pay-per-views is because it felt volatile. The danger is a very crucial element to why people watch MMA. There's that element of danger. If that goes away, it's not as exciting. People wanted Khabib to jump the fence. They didn't know exactly what they wanted. They wanted some kind of volatile situation to play out, and it played out, and then they went, oh, I can't watch that. I mean, there is no way to remove that. It is too personal. Ali, as you heard, it's still very personal.
Yeah. My least favorite story of the year has probably been Khabib and Floyd, and last night I was like, only because I'm not trying to deprive the guy of making money. No, I just don't want to see it.
Yeah, if it was happening,
the only person's perspective that I truly respect in all of this, because he doesn't stand to make a dime, but knows what could happen, is DC, right? He's not going to make money. And what did he say on the show? Big mistake.
Yeah.
If he's going to say that, right? Look, Ali wants to make money. Mendez is going to make money. I mean, I know that's not his only motivation, but he would. I don't want to see it. And last night, when the news came out of Japan that Floyd's going to be a part of this Rizin thing, against Tenshin Kanuzawa, I was like, oh, maybe this ends it. I don't think it really ends it because I think it's going to be an exhibition. There's probably going to be like a 5-round boxing match. It's not going to be a kickboxing match. He's not going to get knocked out.
No doubt.
But at least for the next 2 months,
it's at bed for now. We'll see. We'll see how long it takes for this fight to not actually be happening anymore.
You don't believe it?
I mean,
why? He's going to make why? It's not like he got that much publicity. It was midnight on the East Coast.
Well, that's because it's in
No, but you know what I mean?
Asia.
Like, it wasn't like some big to-do. He's getting paid by Floyd, by the company, the guy sitting next to him on the dais, Brent Johnson.
Yeah.
From that one group, not the same one FC or whatever.
Not really.
And Rizin obviously can't afford him. But they're doing some deal, and this is classic Japanese combat sports, freak show fight, if you will. Tenzin, by the way, as you know, is
very legit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to get boosted. Rizin's going to get boosted. Floyd's going to make some money. Everyone wins. Why is there so much skepticism that this is a thing? Like, why would he go through this whole song and dance if he's not actually going to fight?
For one, just because it's related to Japanese MMA, and there's been shady dealings in the past.
Could be a work.
It could be a work.
Yeah.
And just the idea that Mayweather doesn't really need to do this. Like, he could have gotten a check. He could have gotten a check for an exhibition against anybody. Why tension? The whole thing just
to put him over.
To put who over?
Tenzin.
No. Why does it put him over? He's going to lose a boxing match.
Because we're talking about him. ESPN is talking about him. He doesn't.
He's by the way, he's the C side. He's not even the B side.
He's a 20-year-old boxer. You know what I mean? Like, excuse me, kickboxer.
Yeah.
He's a 20-year-old kickboxer, so he's not expected to win this.
Yeah, I don't know how much cachet losing a boxing match to Floyd Mayweather is going to give him in the career path that he's on.
You don't think?
I don't think it.
Just him being discussed for the next 2 months?
No.
Floyd's going to put him over?
In Japan, in the place where this will actually have an impact, he's already that big a star. He's already the guy. He is one of the faces
you don't think this makes him bigger?
Combat sports. Not really. Not there.
I think it makes him bigger.
And I think here people are going to be quick to forget about him.
Look what it did to Conor. Conor's way more popular. What do you mean? How is it different?
Because here you can build on that. You can build on Mayweather versus McGregor. In Japan, where I think there will be the reverberations of this.
What if he knocks him out?
Well, now we're just getting silly.
Why?
I don't think the rules are going to give him any chance.
So I saw a lot of
that.
people saying, like, remember when Bob Sapp and Mike Tyson had their thing?
Yeah, I mean,
but this is different. They actually had a press conference. Like, they actually squared off. That was in the middle of the ring, and I think Crow Cop was supposed to do something.
Do something with Tyson.
But there was never an actual press conference. I feel like,
but this is why I don't. It just feels like something that shouldn't have happened, would never happen, and now it seems like it's happening. I'm not bothered, but I'm skeptical. And I also feel the rule set is not going to give attention any chance to.
Well, okay. Well, that's the other thing. I understand that there's skepticism because the rules weren't announced.
Haven't even established.
The weight wasn't announced. And
they're announcing a fight and then going, we'll talk about the rules later.
Yeah, that is a little weird.
There's skepticism, clearly.
The gloves, the rounds.
Nothing has been.
If it's an exhibition or like an actual pro.
What if they fight for a certain thing that Mayweather's team doesn't want? The fight doesn't happen. So I'm still skeptical at this point.
All right, fair enough. Saw a lot of people like, how dare you cover this? You're part of the problem. I mean, it's a press conference. It's happening.
Nonsense. This is the fight game. This is a story.
Yeah. It's actually what makes the fight game so fun.
Yeah,
so
I
ridiculous.
didn't expect this.
So ridiculous. I'm about to go to bed last night, and this whole thing happens, and it was somewhat mesmerizing. I'm like, he's standing there with the Rizin backdrop, and Sakakibara is there, and it's like, what is going on here? This guy's fighting
wearing a hat of
like
the Philippines.
Yeah, that was weird too. But did you notice that there wasn't Mayweather Promotions on the backdrop?
I did notice.
TMT,
Yeah.
Leonard Ellerby not there, and all that stuff. I texted him, didn't reply to me.
Yeah.
That felt weird. That felt like he was going off and doing his own thing.
It might be an international situation where in the U.S. you have this, out here I have my own. I don't know, but I did notice that.
So right now on this November 5th, does the fight happen?
I say no.
Wow.
I'm guessing no.
Okay.
That if this was something that was well conceived and they were ready to do, we would have the rule set. We'd know exactly what's going on here. I feel like there is still too much to be sorted and too much time before something can happen where it doesn't happen. I hope it happens for the sake of everybody involved because it would be big business. So I would hope that they get what they want out of it. But I'm skeptical.
All right. You were at UFC 230.
I was.
You were at MSG.
I was.
Did you enjoy it?
It was good. I haven't been. Well, I don't remember what the last pay-per-view I've been to was, but it's been a minute. Probably the last New York one, if I haven't traveled. But
what do you think?
It
of
was
the main
good.
event?
I thought. Yeah.
What?
It was.
I didn't think the boos were warranted.
No,
it was a
not
second round
boos,
finish. Like,
but I mean, I didn't love that fight regardless.
Sure. It was a fight that never should have happened.
I mean, I'm Luke. I have really no feeling on it. I feel Cormier did exactly what Cormier was going to do, and Lewis looked exactly how he was going to look. There wasn't really any excitement one way or the other for me. I wasn't shocked by anything. I wasn't disappointed by anything. It kind of just was what it was. I thought DC on the mic afterwards was good.
Yeah, but the crowd left. Everyone got out of there.
Yeah,
they
left as soon as it happened. I think
the crowd wanted a knockout.
I think people were looking for something different. That fight played out exactly how it was going to play out.
You can't boo. I mean, it's not like he sat on him for 5
Well, they
rounds.
were booing him before that.
I know.
In the very beginning, the intros, the pre-fight, the before the event promo packages, they were cheering for Lewis and booing DC.
Lewis was the darling.
Lewis was the darling, rightfully so, and that's why he's in that position. And I'm not begrudging him for taking the opportunity. But that fight was exactly what that fight was going to be.
Feels like he's the front runner for Fighter of the Year now.
Yeah, Derrick Lewis definitely.
No, DC.
No, of course.
There's still some things that need to play out. Like if Amanda Nunes knocks out Cyborg,
that would be massive.
If Ortega does something special, big. But
I think it's DC
3-0
at this point. Yeah,
2 different weight classes. Double champ, defend the title, short notice.
The win over Stipe is one of the biggest wins of the year by anybody, no doubt. And then you add that he has defended the heavyweight belt.
Right.
I think that he's the front
runner. We're not giving away the award right now, but it just seems like I'm always kind of interested at what point of the year does someone start to break through a little bit?
I think this is a year where we're not going to see anything late that happens that will affect that.
I still feel like if Amanda Nunes knocks out Cyborg,
the one.
That's pretty damn big.
Male, female, doesn't matter.
Sure,
if
that's
she gets
true,
that,
we do separate.
But if you get that done, that's big.
Some people don't do separate. So afterwards, he calls out Brock.
Yeah,
he says, "Bring the WWE belt. It's fine." I asked him, when he was on, I still up until today didn't believe that he would retire without fighting Jon.
You're starting to?
I'm actually starting to believe him.
I don't.
You don't.
These
Even
wins at
Mendes.
heavyweight are going to come too easy. I don't see him just stepping away.
Maybe for a year.
No. Why? The paydays can keep coming.
Yeah.
There are very few people, I think Stipe being one of them, that I think can challenge DC at heavyweight. He can just keep going. He can just keep going for as long as he wants. He's peaking. He's in his prime right now.
I think he's been better.
He didn't
this year.
take the wear and tear that these guys take when they get into MMA earlier. Now, certainly, I'm not trying to pretend that his wrestling career wasn't a grind. I'm sure it was. In fact, it's part of the things he took.
Well, he's sneezing and blowing out his back, so something's happening there.
But the wins at heavyweight without having to cut that weight, I don't think he's putting that much stress on his body. I think he's still able to train and prepare. He can't beat Derrick Lewis with one hand. Let's be real.
Yeah.
These wins at heavyweight are going to come too easy.
So do you think he fights Brock?
Oh yeah.
You think that fight happens?
Oh yeah. Too much money on the table not to
happen.
happen.
Yeah, but look, USADA. You have no skepticism on that one?
Why would I?
I don't know.
Brock Lesnar
Gets popped.
successfully executed this exact same scenario. My skepticism around that was not that there would be shady business going on between the participants. I'm talking about referring to Floyd Mayweather and Rizin. Look, if Brock gets popped, that would stop the fight. But to this point, we haven't heard anything yet.
Okay, so you think he fights that fight, let's say in March, and then you think DC says he's done, but then comes back? Oh, reverses course?
He will stay.
Wow.
It's too easy.
So are there 2 fights left?
Nope.
There's more?
More.
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know about. The only thing I would say is that there might be 1 fight left after Brock.
It's going to be too easy for him.
So what do you think? He's just going to go around fighting Stipe and fighting this guy and that guy?
I do.
He's not going to. First of all, he's not going to fight at 205.
No, I don't think that. I think it's at heavyweight.
Stipe's mad.
There is. Oh, certainly.
Stipe's very
and he has
mad.
a case to be.
He has a case, but you know what? He might not want to admit it. Unfortunately, the state of his relationship with the UFC is coming back to haunt him. He had all the power, all the leverage when he was the champion.
But when
Tyron Woodley's going to face the same thing whenever he loses his belt.
Of course, if he loses his belt.
At some point, he's going to not be champion.
Hey, let's not put that on him. Fans, commentary team.
Yeah.
Everybody's talking about it. It's a storyline. Stipe hasn't, just disappeared. Everybody knows that the fight to make is Cormier versus Stipe for the legitimacy, for the legacy, for he was clearly the best heavyweight the UFC has had in terms of title defenses, capturing the belt, all that stuff. He is the one who has established a legacy at heavyweight that people have not been able to in the past. He was on a tremendous run, knocking guys out in the first round. Cormier came in and beat him. Incredibly impressive way. But that is the type of guy that would get an immediate rematch. There have been people who didn't get an immediate rematch and have got, who've gotten an immediate rematch without that stake to it that he has.
But I don't begrudge Daniel for not taking that fight on 3
no
weeks'
doubt.
notice. I actually really respect the honesty. Like, look, you want me to save the day? I'll fight this guy. You want me to fight that guy saving the day? Not doing
Daniel did it the right way.
Yeah.
The issue
but
is
now
that
you're saying with the full
that
training camp,
didn't need to happen now. It could have.
They had nothing else.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's another story altogether. I mean, I thought Nate and Dustin. Now, the injury came later in that process, but I think. Nate
But also,
and
it is
Dustin
worth
should have
noting
been
that the
main
ticket
event.
sales did go way up when those 2 guys were added.
It was the right thing for Daniel. It was the right thing for Derrick. But I think the fight that matters in the heavyweight division is Stipe and Daniel. I don't think there's another fight right now.
I don't think. I really would love to know how they justify giving him a title shot.
Who are we talking about?
Brock. How do you give Brock a title shot? I just don't know. I just can't even wrap my head around the justification.
I mean, what do you need to justify?
I just want to know how they spin it. They obviously don't.
He's back. The beast is back. That's it. That's all you need.
He's the universal champion.
Daniel wants him.
Yeah.
That's it. That's enough.
I guess
Daniel wants him. That's enough of that.
He wants him because you said he can have him.
Well, Daniel wasn't calling out Stipe after the fight.
Right.
He wants him.
Well, of course. I mean, look, I'd love to know, but I think there's a very good chance that 230 pay-per-view wise does better than 226, which I think says a lot because that was champion versus champion.
Yeah,
it was a much more competitive fight on paper.
Yeah, but Lewis had the momentum, and that was why they made it, and that was why it was ultimately. You said the ticket sales went up. That was ultimately why that happened. Lewis brought people in, even though competitively that was Daniel's fight to lose. Clearly,
my heart broke for Chris Weidman.
Yeah, tough.
That was hard.
Up as we saw on the judges.
Yeah, what are the judges? I didn't see.
On the judges' scorecards, he was up on 2 cards, 2018 and 1919.
I thought he should have used his wrestling a little more. Like, I'm no coach, but one takedown attempt, and it was successful.
Well, let's
in the
not,
second round.
Jacare's not a slouch on the ground.
No,
now,
I know,
certainly
but
top control is different.
That fight was fought in the phone booth. It was an amazing fight. Like, the pace in that fight was incredible. They were both hitting each other with incredible shots. And Jacare, actually, I was sort of thinking like he's on the decline. That was one of his best fights. Even though Weidman was winning early. I thought Weidman won the first 2 rounds, but like Jacare did not back down. He kept moving forward. And then that punch to knock out a guy like him, damn impressive.
Jacare is definitely getting up there in age.
Yeah.
But I would pump the brakes on the decline thing. I think it's a little premature.
Clearly.
Not only from this performance, though, but against Gastelum, there's people who would make the case that he won that fight. I think I had it for Gastelum, but that was a close one. Yoel Romero, that fight, I would have given him the nod.
Jacare.
Certainly, when he got knocked out, there's no debate there. But he's still on a very good run in the UFC. Whereas Chris has been the one who's kind of been on the slide.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at the momentum, now the win over Gastelum kind of
is weird.
It makes it weird because he
almost got dropped,
5.
remember? Or kind of did get dropped. Seriously rocked.
Yeah, he was hurt.
Half drop.
Chris needs to bounce back, and you know what? I would have liked the Rockhold Weidman fight. I think that was the fight to have happen. I think that was it. I think that man, it's just you've as you said, you got to feel for Chris.
It was like deja vu.
It's happened.
It was the Romero fight at MSG, third round, looking good early, and then gets caught, this time in a different way. But I thought Chael said on the post show he thought it was the best Chris Weidman we've ever seen.
He looked sharp. I don't know about that.
I don't agree with that, but that's high praise.
Yeah, he was beating Jacare, clearly. I had him up. I would have said maybe 19-19, but I think the momentum was on his side, and he stayed in the pocket too long.
Who was the big winner of that fight? It wasn't Jacare.
Who's the big winner?
Israel Adesanya.
How so?
The Weidman loss opened the door for him to be a top contender. Because, again, to his point, Jacare's not getting another fight against Whitaker or Gastelum, I don't think, right now. I think it's hard to sell it. He is the fresh face. He's the one everyone's...
He was 9 and Brunson was 6 anyway.
Yeah, but you know how that goes. Look at Till.
But who else is left to face? It's like Rockhold maybe?
Okay, here's my prediction.
Yeah?
My prediction is they want him to fight one more time, and they might want to showcase him on ESPN, right?
Okay.
So they'll do what happened with Conor after he beat Dustin Poirier at UFC 178. When Conor beat Dustin Poirier at 178, a lot of people thought, okay, that's it.
Yeah.
And then they gave him the Seaver sort of showcase. I feel like they'll give him a showcase fight. And Dana said at the post-fight press conference,
that they have somebody.
I feel like it's Anderson. I have no information here.
Boy, that's
doesn't
brutal.
that seem... No? I don't want to see it.
I don't want to see that fight.
But that does feel like a star-making fight. Not to say he's not a star already, but you get my point.
It's the type of fight that could headline a card and...
Big time.
Set up a performance by Israel that would put him on the map for people if this event
I feel like
didn't.
he's one fight away.
I feel like he's there, honestly.
There's a bit of a gap between Brunson and Whitaker in terms of the amount of bodies that are in between. You give him one more fight.
I think people are forgetting what kind of run Brunson was on before he hit the skid.
Well, he did lose to Jacare and he hasn't fought in a year. But Whitaker and Gastelum are fighting in February. Let's just say that fight happens. Those guys, the winner of that fight, is not fighting until at least July.
Yeah.
So do you really want to keep Adesanya out, a healthy Adesanya out until July, August? I don't think you want to do that.
No, and I also don't think...
Put him on that card.
Yeah.
What is it, in 3 months? Put him on that card against the big name. Showcase him in Australia, and now the stars align. And if you do Whitaker versus him, the whatever he called it, the Australia versus New Zealand fight, the Kiwi versus the Aussie... That's a big deal.
But we were initially talking about experience, right? I don't think a fight against Anderson Silva is going to give him anything that will then be able to carry forward from an experience perspective. That's a step down, honestly, in my opinion.
Yeah, but
Brunson is a tougher fight.
Seaver is a step down from Poirier.
Yeah, but I'm saying he's one away because he can be one away, not because he needs to be one away. I think he could fight for the title now or fight for the title with a win over a guy like Anderson Silva. It doesn't add anything to his repertoire. It's not gonna give him any more cage time.
It's to buy him time.
Sure.
It's to buy him time and give him another head.
Yeah. I think he could jump into a title shot now.
I
think
like
he's
I've
equipped.
asked you this question, but you watched him in kickboxing.
Of course,
Are you shocked to see him do this well?
Not at all.
No.
I think he was referring to a fight against Jason Wilness in Glory that I was there at. Obviously, I work with Glory. And he did have a performance where you could make an argument that he won that fight. He would have been a middleweight world champion for the biggest kickboxing organization in the world. I think his style is one that he's bringing to a world where they're not used to. MMA, it's the same thing that we saw with Jon Jones. Now, Jon Jones didn't come from kickboxing over, but Israel, the other thing that Israel did was he started his MMA career in concert, parallel, that he did his kickboxing career. He wasn't just jumping from kickboxing into MMA. He had a lot of time in that MMA cage. He saw a lot of guys who wanted to take him down because they knew that he was such a dynamic striker, and he is proving that the hard work he put in paid off. I'm not surprised at all. He's very good. He will be able to do that against certain guys, but I think this idea that, a wrestler is just going to come in and take him down is mistaken and probably poorly thought out. I think he will have much more trouble with somebody like a Robert Whittaker, who is more well-rounded than somebody who's stylistically just a wrestler. He's going to be able to style, no pun intended, on guys who are just trying to come after him with those sloppy takedowns. He's going to beat those guys up. It's going to be a Whittaker that's going to be the one who's really giving him a challenge.
I'm excited.
That
What
fight,
a year for him.
Whew, that fight would be bonkers.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's been so much fun
I'd like
to
to see Rockhold versus Adesanya at some point as well. I think Rockhold's 2, in the division. I'd like to see that, but you're right. If I was to, start setting up, if I was to play matchmaker and start setting up Whittaker versus Adesanya, Anderson, you could do worse than Anderson Silva versus Adesanya.
Jared Cannonier with a huge win. Great to have him on the show. Unbelievable what his body has gone through. His third weight class, I thought he looked great against a guy who can make you look really bad.
Yeah.
So big win for him. Sajara Eubanks unfortunately missed weight. Nice to have her here. She's handling it well. I don't know how you can possibly give her another shot at the belt.
Difficult.
She blew that one.
I think she can do the things that you're talking about to make her case. It's not like there's a ton of contenders at flyweight. If she shows up and starts, making noise, I think they could do it. I think she could convince them. Go to the PI, do a weight cut, show them I can make this weight, and keep chirping at the people who you need to. I think she could get it. It's not a very deep division.
People care about her.
That's the thing. I think missing weight gave her more attention than if she had just come in and
whole
had a
Ben
performance
Askren
against
thing.
Roxanne.
Yeah.
100%.
Right.
I think she can still get into that picture.
Outside of the top 2 females who are fighting for the belt, Joanna and Valentina, she's probably the next most, notable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
In that division,
weight
it's
class.
like Jessica Ai and Caitlin Chukagian.
But
people know Sajara more.
feeling.
Yeah.
Towards her. Friend of the program, Shane Burgos with a nice comeback
Huge win.
Matt Frivola, Kurt Hollabaugh fought to a great draw. Anything else you want to talk about for 230? Ben Askren showed up. That was amazing.
No. I didn't make any picks on that one, so I didn't get to make
You were
any
having
picks.
Mai Tais.
Yeah.
What about that press conference on Friday? Jon Jones pushing Alexander Gustafsson? No? Weren't feeling it?
I told you how I feel about that fight. I'm into it. I like it, but I want to see Daniel and John. I wish that was DC that it was pushing. That's what I want.
It felt a little too chummy.
It just felt like they're look. Jon Jones was in form. He was in form at that press conference. He was giving it to Alex a little bit verbally.
The problem was he acknowledged that it was entertainment afterwards.
But
kayfabe, bro.
I don't feel the same way about Alex and John as I feel about John and DC. That's not saying I don't want to see the fight. I'm all for it, but I want DC and John.
I didn't see John at MSG. Were there any shots? I didn't see him because he said he was going to be there.
It's a good question. I didn't see him either, but I mean, I was also in the house as well.
Like even on the screen, they didn't show him.
They never showed him on the broadcast.
Yeah, they never showed him on the broadcast.
They showed
Jake is saying.
Gustafsson, but they did not show
Gustafsson was
Jones.
there?
Correct, yep.
Wow. Interesting. DC
Got
told
better
me
things to do.
DC told me that he saw Gustafsson in the back
Yeah.
on Friday because they kept him and Jones apart, and he said, "Go kick his ass, champ." I was like, "That's pretty cool. Now they're buddies." And that's more to your point. What?
I mean,
damn.
Where's the animosity? Where's the?
There's animosity. Look, he's not going to fight these guys again. Why should he fight Gustafsson again?
Yeah, he's not gonna go down unless Gustafsson comes up to heavyweight. There's no fight there.
Askren just killing it.
Everybody wants to beat John. Askren's
I think
on
it's going
fire.
to be Robbie Lawler based on the
Wow.
Well, see, he broke it down for us, and here's the problem: he broke it down for us when he crashed our show, quote unquote, and he said it's either Lawler or Thompson, right? And here's the problem. The problem is he's called out everyone under the sun.
Yeah.
Except Robbie Lawler. It has to be one of the guys he called out. There's no heat there. And you have to play up the fact that he has heat, right? Like, he has heat with everyone. Lawler's the one guy who is not going to play that game.
No,
he's going to be like, I feel good. Like,
he's
just
not going to throw it back.
He's a phenomenal fighter, and I can't wait to see him back.
That'd be a great fight.
He's incredible, and it's been a long time. But, like, he's the one guy that he has zero heat with.
I mean, he's a walking heat machine, though. I think he could figure out a way to promote that fight. Just Askren on his own.
Yeah.
No matter who it is. It's not like Thompson's going to give it back to him in any way either.
Well, that's why I kind of like Thompson and Lawler, because it's a great, striking battle, but there's just not going to be any trash talk. But I don't like Till, because I want Till to move up. So I don't really know. I wanted GSP, but I guess
Till would talk.
They don't want to give GSP anything.
No,
it's just unbelievable.
I mean, it's his doing.
Who's doing?
GSP's.
He's not asking for a title shot.
No.
Well, yes, he kind of is.
Kind of.
Yeah, but not against Askren. Do it for the one belt. Just pretend like the old days. Right?
Daniel's calling for the WWE belt in the ring.
Dana's like, okay, fine. You want a title shot? We'll do it for the one belt. Like, well, I'm not the one champion anymore. It's okay. Just bring it. Bring the one belt. Bring the Bellator belt.
Does anything with the UFC belt over there?
Yeah, he'll show up next week and put it in like Medusa did back in the day. Alundra Blaze. Now, do you know the lines for Denver?
I do.
Oh. I was going to play the game with you.
No.
Chan Sung Jung versus
Yair
Rodriguez.
Yeah.
What do we got? Anything on this card? 25th anniversary. Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
I feel like we should get something a little bigger for the 25th anniversary, right?
No, I think you set yourself up for failure with that type of thing. You do the 200 thing where you're like, we've got it, and then things start happening. Frankie falls out of the main event.
Just a little bit.
No, I'm okay with it.
Something.
Quick recap. Arjun Buller, 2 picks from Moncton, and Court McGee. We're both winners. We're getting some momentum on the pick side of things over here from yours truly. Main event, I'm staying away from this one. I just like Korean Zombie came back, had the one fight. It's tough for me to read. I think rightfully he's the favorite. He's minus 135. Yair's plus 115. I would favor Korean Zombie, but this is one I wouldn't really wager on. I'd stay away from this one. One I do like, Joseph Benavidez and Ray Borg are even money, or essentially even money, minus 110 each. I don't think Benavidez is getting the respect he deserves there. I think this is his fight. The loss to Pettis aside, and I don't think he looked bad in that fight per se. He definitely looked, rusty. He didn't look as sharp as I thought he would. But I don't think Ray Borg is the guy that's going to test him that way. I think this is a statement win for Benavidez, so I'm all over Benavidez at minus 110. He opened as a bigger favorite. He opened at minus 165, and they dropped it all the way to essentially even money. I like Joey B there. And then another one I like, Donald Cerrone is a plus 180 underdog to Mike Perry. Now, granted, let's get all the facts out there. He's changing a camp, but he also, kind of. He's been doing his own thing for a little bit, but he also has lost, 4 out of 5 or something like that. He's been on a rough skid, but it's against the cream of the crop in that division, and I'm not sure Mike Perry has faced anybody that I would consider in that upper tier. Ponzinibbio is definitely close to the top, but Cerrone's losses are not against guys that I think Mike Perry would be a favorite against, or maybe he'd only be a slight dog. I like Cerrone as an underdog here. I think there's an opportunity for him to win this fight. I'd even potentially look at Cerrone winning inside the distance is plus 405. I think there's a way he finishes Mike Perry here.
Wow.
Submission would not be surprising to me if he's able to get it to the mat. So I like Donald Cerrone as an underdog. I'm not. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe the young guy, the young lion is coming for the older one. But I think it's a little too soon to close the book on Donald Cerrone.
Wow.
So I like Cerrone as an underdog here, plus 180.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Anything else before we go?
No,
Jake's getting all fired up back there.
Those are really the ones that I've been looking at.
Oh, Jake, he's such a mensch. He is such a mensch back there. Now, I still don't know if that was on air or off air. I'm still confused.
Did we hear that to program, Jake? Oh, that was just a whisper.
Yeah, that's just to us. So no one can really understand who we're talking to right now. That makes for great television, Jake. Jake, by the way, when Israel Adesanya asks you to put something on the
now
TV,
people can hear me. Do you want to do this?
Yeah, put it on the damn TV. What's wrong with you, Jake?
Let's talk about it, Jake.
Let's go.
We thought we had it nailed down, and we thought we had it on loop, but unfortunately, our shortcut was not cooperating with us.
So you had to keep doing it manually.
Yeah,
That's fine.
And each time, well, I mean, if you and Israel didn't call me out, it wouldn't be great. But hey,
Now here's something to
roll
know.
with the punches.
Yeah, yeah.
Jake could have thrown me under the bus here.
Oh.
I was running that.
Oh, you were.
I was.
I should have been. Oh,
Now
man.
he didn't because he's a good dude.
Why didn't you just come on the cans and say that's not me?
I'm not gonna interrupt.
He's not going to do that. He's not going to do that because he's a good guy.
Gosh.
I'm not gonna throw
So you
under
were the one who
bus.
screwed it up.
We had it set to play a certain way
Yeah.
before the show. It wasn't working, so we had to manually replay it, and we did. Look, Israel was happy. He got to see what he wanted to see.
He did.
But
He was
I
feeling
appreciate
himself.
Jake for not.
Wow.
He took that
what a
one
team
as
player.
if
Team player.
he did it.
What a
he
team
did
player.
not.
That's unbelievable.
It was on me.
That's touching.
I thought that was very good with Israel.
Yeah,
he
thank
was,
you.
Now, a lot of cursing.
A lot of cursing.
We had a lot of cursing
Yes,
there.
yes.
But he was loose. He got his post-fight win. Everything's been
Great.
going
It's
his
so
way in
different,
the
yeah.
UFC.
Yeah.
But kudos to Israel and congrats to him.
It's been a fun day, my friend.
Yeah.
It's good to have you back.
Hawaiian.
Jokes aside.
Rick, thank you.
How many shirts did you get?
Just this one.
Oh, just one?
Just the one.
I
And
think
this
it's a
one,
good look.
I had a T-shirt.
Hey, Jake, I didn't tell you to play the music. Damn it.
I was going to a dinner, and I showed up, and everybody was wearing like suits.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I better at least get a Hawaiian shirt. They call them Aloha shirts.
Okay.
I better at least run over to Ross Dress for Less. I don't know if you're familiar.
No, I'm not.
Go to Ross Dress for Less and get myself a Hawaiian shirt. I do. I come back, 10 more people showed up wearing T-shirts, and I was.
And this was the one.
But this was the one that I
Okay.
bought. I think it's a good look.
Yeah, it is a good look. Rock it.
It will not stay. Jeff Wagenheim can have that corner. I'm moving back off. I actually apologize for even going
That's
there.
good.
Like that was not my
Gimmick
territory.
infringement.
But I will be back in my usual attire.
Good to have you back.
Thank you.
Good to put the day to bed, as they like to say. UFC 230, fun week. And I still have a headache. I don't know what it is. Ali. Back in my life. But I was happy to have him. It was a good day. Cormier, everyone stopping by, appreciate it very much. And the UFC is in Denver this weekend, and it is their 25th anniversary show. And I wanted to sort of reminisce about our favorite moments in the history of the UFC. But guess what? Next week will be November 12th, and that will actually be the 25th birthday of the UFC. So you know what?
Let's save it.
Apropos to save it for next Monday. For now, we shall say goodbye. If you missed anything, check it out. YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, ESPN.com, the app, all those places and more. Appreciate you watching. See you next week. Much love.